Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Leenda, and this is For the Record, Your Honor. When we all thought things couldn't get any worse and no more details could possibly come out, well, that was short-lived because here we are, February 21st of 2025, and we have a private email that had been attached and included in the recent documents from Blake Lively's team. So quickly, we're going to go over this, and man, a lot has been coming out. New alleged text messages, instructions from her and Ryan Reynolds to their publicist, and the email to the screenwriter, Christy Hall. Whew, let's get into it. Blake's email was addressed to the film's screenwriter, Christy Hall, on August 11, 2024. This is seemingly in reference to Blake sharing that Ryan helped contribute some sort of dialogue to the movie's rooftop scene, which we've all heard nonstop about. This is all becoming extremely wildly petty, and Blake is seemingly bringing in people to surround her with support and protection, as Justin is just kind of laying back, open to interviews, and has spilled all the tea by creating a website with his lawyer for the world to come and go as they please and make their own conclusions about him and Blake personally before any trial. He is giving the notion that he has nothing to hide and is confident in all the evidence he has to bring to this case. And this bold move of putting it all out in computer manila folders, per se, and screen documents is kind of genius. I bet you Blake and Ryan definitely didn't expect that or see that coming. I also have noticed that a response or email in reply from Christy Hall was not provided or shown. Was that on purpose? Was there ever an actual reply? Was this email even real? Or is it a draft that was never sent for the purposes of this lawsuit? I don't know. Let's have a read of this infamous email.
Hey, Christy. I hope you're enjoying the immense success of this weekend and for what it means for stories about women, by women, in film. I heard you were ambushed at your junket with a question about something I said on the red carpet. I feel awful. I never would have said anything that I thought could be used against you or anyone. I was just proud of my partner and feeling grateful for the ways in which he shows up for me. I believe firmly that two things can be true. In this case, he can show up for me and do great work doing so, and you can do great work which got us all here. But the media will make things more black and white, and I should have seen that before speaking off the cuff. I was frazzled for a multitude of reasons that you may know something about, or not. But in that moment, all I was trying to focus on was love and positivity, and the key source of that for me is my family, which is why it was a crutch for me to talk about him. I'm mortified how that translated with regard to you, though. I pride myself in being thoughtful and trying not to step in landmines, but I did. It was such an avoidable own goal, and I'm so sorry for any upset or hurt it may have caused you or left you feeling badly in any way. That was never my intention. I was thinking about audiences loving real-life love, and seeing that on screen is inspiring. I should have been holding all of that and you while speaking publicly, and I didn't do that. I'm sorry. I spoke about you during the many days of junkets, but of course the one that gets shared back to you is the one where I give my husband credit for the invisible work he did on this movie. I quite literally could not have gotten through it without him, in every way, but that's not your bag to carry, and somehow it was, if even for a moment. We'll hopefully talk more one day about plenty. What it is to be a woman in this industry is messy and painfully not charted enough. I live in NY and would love to get together anytime. Just let me know. There's so much to say. But none of that is for today. Today is a congratulations, a celebration, and I'm sorry for any upset I may have caused in an otherwise beautiful moment. Sending you the best, X Blake.
I personally find that letter as inexcusable, just selfish, dishonest. She's gaslighting and, in a way, love bombing at times. And just manipulation in every word, every sentence. Blake Lively apologized to It Ends With Us screenwriter after claiming Ryan Reynolds wrote scene in the film. Blake Lively wrote this apology to the It Ends With Us screenwriter Christy Hall after claiming that her husband Ryan Reynolds wrote one of the film's iconic scenes. The actress, 37, filed an amended complaint to her original lawsuit against her co-star and film director Justin Baldoni, 41, on Tuesday, which featured an email from Lively to Hall. In the new documents, Lively detailed an alleged smear campaign by Baldoni and his team, and addressed criticism she received for revealing that Reynolds, 48, had a rewrite of the rooftop scene, or so we're told, in a red carpet interview without the screenwriter's knowledge. And notice and make note that she wrapped up her email stating that she hoped the two of them could talk more one day and get together. And I'm going to assume that did not happen. But if it did, we will probably hear about it in court. Lively's legal team noted that Ms. Hall graciously accepted the heartfelt apology and said she did not take Ms. Lively's comment personally. Back in August, Lively claimed Reynolds secretly contributed to the dialogue in the film. She proudly shared that the actor helped write the iconic rooftop scene, a fact that even the movie's screenwriter wasn't aware of. My husband actually wrote it. Nobody knows that but you now. Blake, who is the star and producer of the film, told E! News at the New York City premiere. The actress added, "We help each other. He works on everything I do. I work on everything he does. So his wins, his celebrations are mine and mine are his." Meanwhile, Hall appeared baffled by the claim and shared she wasn't aware of Reynolds' contributions.
There were a couple things that I thought had been improvised.
She told people of the scene, which takes place early in the film with Lily Bloom, Blake, and Kyle, who's Baldoni, shared a flirtatious rooftop encounter.
Like when he says "pretty please" with a cherry on top and she talks about the maraschino cherries. When I saw a cut, I was like, oh, that cute. That must have been a cute improvised thing. So if I'm being told that Ryan wrote that, then great, how wonderful. There were a few little flourishes that I did not write, but I assumed that they had been improvised on set. But again, like I said, that moments that I felt like needed to be honored are there. So I recognize the scene and I'm proud of the scene. And if those flourishes came from Ryan Reynolds, I think that's wonderful.
It Ends With Us is based on Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel published in 2016. Christy shared that the rooftop scene was probably the trickiest one to tackle because it's perfect in the novel.
My first attempt at that scene, I really tried to just honor what Colleen wrote, almost word for word. I really tried because I just think that she did it best. But what's tricky about that scene was that it was a long one.
Also revealed another moment that was improvised in a scene with Lily and co-star Brandon, who plays Atlas.
When Atlas is like,
"What song do you want played at your funeral?"
and the answer turned out to be Creed's Arms Wide Open, I laughed my ass off when I first saw that because I assumed that as improvised, maybe Ryan Reynolds wrote those lines. I'd be curious to know where that line came from because I loved that moment. We needed some levity. We needed a laugh and we got it in that moment.
Elsewhere in the amended complaint, Lively referred to Baldoni as a creep, as she confided about his shocking behavior on set of It Ends With Us in a text message to a mutual friend. According to the documents, Lively also alleges that Baldoni, whose lawyer has slammed the recent filing, had asked an intrusive question about her and Ryan's personal sex life while filming. Lively claims that the director-actor had attempted to persuade her to have an O on camera during a scene. It is claimed that the two actors had discussed taking out the scene and had agreed, but Baldoni had apparently, allegedly, made a last-ditch attempt to keep one in which the couple O together. The complaint read that Baldoni had allegedly told Lively that it was important to him to keep that specific scene in as he and his partner climax simultaneously during relations. That's what we're going to say, relations. The legal document also states Mr. Baldoni then intrusively asked Miss Lively whether she and her husband climaxed simultaneously during relations, which Mrs. Lively found intrusive and refused to discuss. Meanwhile, Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, has fired back at Lively's lawsuit amendment. The attorney insists there seems to be no actual new evidence in the filing and believes that there was nothing added, which could be seen as damning towards his client. The lawyer for the American actor and director said the suit is filled with unsubstantial hearsay of unnamed persons who are clearly no longer willing to come forward or publicly support her claims, per TMZ on Wednesday. Friedman also added that his clients, which include Baldoni, his publicists, and the Wayfarer Studios, have been transparent in providing receipts, real-time documents, and video showing a completely different story than what has been manipulated and cherry-picked to the media. A source for DailyMail.com has disputed their claims, and they said,
"Look, Blake is really clutching at straws. She was said to have these smoking guns, right? And well, she really has nothing. Her amended complaint is baseless. Bottom line is this: Justin did not harass any other woman on set. There was not one single HR complaint made by any woman. If he did, wouldn't HR be the first place they would go to? It seems, well, honestly, unlikely that Blake has even one woman that is willing to come forward and go on record to corroborate her claims. In that amended complaint, there are no text messages, emails, signals, WhatsApps, or anything about these alleged women. Just has receipts. He has factual evidence in his defense, and it doesn't look like Blake has anything to back up her claims."
Blake previously filed an sexual harming lawsuit in December against Justin, who co-starred in and directed her hit romantic drama, It Ends With Us. But it didn't end there. It's still not over. Justin followed up by launching a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake, her publicist, and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Well, if everything he is saying is true, then by all means, sue her ass. He also filed a $250 million libel lawsuit against the New York Times for reporting on Blake's allegations. But despite the high-stakes legal battle, it seems neither side plans to back down at any time soon. So, I guess it doesn't end now. Last month, a judge scheduled a trial date for the lawsuits in March of 2026, and both parties have already decided to skip any attempt at mediation. So it continues. Tell me in the chat, comments down below, what team are you on? What do you believe? What are you waiting to see or hear to really make your decision? Do you think there's going to be delays? Do you think it might get moved up? Do you think anyone will settle? All right, see you guys in another video real soon. Bye.